The forest opened like a grand curtain, revealing a sprawling meadow bathed in a soft golden light. Knee-high grass swayed lazily under a gentle breeze, its vibrant green kissed with bursts of wild flowers in hues of violet, yellow, and blue. Smooth, weathered rocks dotted the expanse, their surfaces glinting faintly under the sun's warm embrace. Every step Zephyr took left a delicate trail in the grass, the blades curling gently around the hem of his robes, as if reluctant to let him go. The air hummed with life, subtle yet undeniable. Leaves rustled faintly at the meadow's edges, distant birds chirped melodic notes, and the occasional whisper of the wind carried an unspoken promise. Yet beneath the serene beauty of the scene lingered an intangible weight, an undercurrent of anticipation that prickled at the edges of awareness. Zephyr stood still in the meadow's center, his golden eyes scanning the horizon where the grass faded into the shadows of the forest. His expression was calm but introspective, his mind a whirlwind of thoughts. "This dialogue," he murmured, his voice low and steady, "an experience in the Matrix." He paused, tilting his head slightly as sunlight pierced a cluster of passing clouds, bathing the meadow in a warm, radiant glow. Zephyr's gaze lifted toward the sky, his breath soft and deliberate. "Of nothing and everything," he continued, his words carrying a contemplative weight. "The observation revolving. Oh, the light." The meadow seemed to breathe in tandem with him, its swaying grass and vibrant wildflowers responding to the momentary brilliance of the sun. Zephyr exhaled softly, lowering his gaze as he resumed walking. Each step was purposeful, harmonized with the natural rhythm of the meadow. "Long from this space," he whispered, his tone tinged with longing, "the embrace of expansion." As his steps carried him forward, his voice sharpened with resolve. "Surrender to potential, sacrifice of false gods. A Ronin never stops, no matter the odds." Ahead, a shimmering white materia Kriya rose from the earth. Its surface was smooth and faintly glowing, pulsating gently with the rhythm of the meadow's hum. Atop the Kriya sat a delicate snow globe, encapsulating a miniature scene of Zephyr himself standing beside a pillar etched with a black keyhole. The globe mirrored his actions in real time, every movement within the glass an uncanny reflection of reality. Zephyr approached cautiously, his robes brushing against the grass as he studied the Kriya and the globe atop it. His brow furrowed as he turned back to the Kriya, observing the intricate connection between the two. "Then I will fulfill the requirement and return to sender," he said quietly. The Kriya hummed faintly, resonating in sync with the meadow's natural energy. Zephyr stepped back, his expression contemplative as he repeated the phrase, his voice growing firmer with each iteration. "Not possible. No, it's not possible. Set in stone." From behind him, the grass rustled softly. A figure emerged, its fur shimmering with iridescent light. A coyote stepped into view, its piercing eyes locking onto Zephyr. The air around the creature seemed charged, as though it carried the wisdom of ages. "Finally you come to know," the coyote said, its tone calm yet teasing. Zephyr turned slowly, his posture straightening as he met the creature's gaze. "Grace," he replied, his voice steady. "Absolutely. It neither is nor isn't," the coyote said with a sly grin. "Then the war?" Zephyr asked. "Won," the coyote replied simply. "The commander made his decision." The coyote stepped closer, its gaze unwavering. "Do not fret, it all comes together. Pure fascination." The air shifted subtly, the faint scent of charred wood wafting in on the breeze. The coyote's tone grew more serious. "Even the disappearance of Leopsis," it said. Zephyr nodded slowly, his voice heavy with understanding. "Everything. It's all connected." The coyote chuckled lightly, every layer removed from the commander's fire. Zephyr's gaze sharpened. The more space, the more that's burnt off. A faint rhythm pulsed beneath their feet, a soft popping sound that resonated through the ground. Zephyr tilted his head, listening intently. "Hear them?" he said. "What, the tapas?" the coyote asked, curious. "Yes." "They pop," the coyote said, its laughter rising lightly. "The fire cannot be stopped." "This is the day's purpose," Zephyr replied. "The blackened bombs," the coyote added. "You can feel the magnitude now. The wax melts its way off. What a trip." With a low cackle, the coyote vanished in a puff of shimmering light, its particles lingering momentarily before fading into the air. Zephyr watched the empty space where it had stood, his expression calm and contemplative. "One must surpass the return of causality," he said to himself. "Is that even so?" Continuing forward, his gaze fell on a venom well ahead. Its pump dripped thick black liquid into a dark puddle, the viscous substance rippling faintly as it reflected fragmented images of the meadow around it. "This is superior analysis," Zephyr murmured, his tone thoughtful, the frame to understand. "Paradox of the infinite, the dots." As he moved past the well, a black and white pillar adorned with intricate geometric patterns came into view. The pillar glowed faintly, its surface mesmerizing. At its center lay a smooth black keyhole, its edges inviting and mysterious. Only forward with the chain, Zephyr said. There is no going back, and the heart of the dragon, generations albedo. Nearby, a floating stone cube revolved slowly in midair, its surface flashing with computed images. Each variation was a fleeting glimpse of something unknowable. Zephyr paused, his expression softening. The iterational walk to the end, he said. Wake up and do it again. Fail and fail. Enjoy the burn. The breeze picked up, carrying the scent of wildflowers and ash. Zephyr reached for an ivory pipe at his side, taking a long drag. The smoke curled around his face before dissolving into the meadow air. Feel the wind, he said softly. Breathe it in. All of creation stems through your flames. Ahead, a set of candlelit pillars came into view. The flames danced in a checkered pattern, their flickering light casting long shadows across the ground. At the center stood a larger pillar with a deep-set eye and a black keyhole. Beyond it, a staircase ascended into the distance, its twin candle flames flickering violently in the shifting air. Zephyr stepped closer, his posture straight, his golden eyes focused. The bone's architecture, that is the key. Who do you want to be? No, who do you need to be? He exhaled deeply, his voice resonating with quiet purpose. Purge, purity, each day. The more you do, the more you will get out. The meadow stretched endlessly behind him, its golden light stark against the shadows of the encroaching jungle. Zephyr turned his gaze upward, the weight of his journey pressing heavily on his shoulders. I may be a villain here, he said, his voice soft but resolute, but as long as I search, we all feast. With those words, he stepped toward the staircase, disappearing into the shifting shadows of the jungle as the meadow hummed softly in his wake.